Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Welcome aboard the Parawomenradio shuttle to Watts Island. I have no idea how we're going to navigate this big boat over to Watts Island tonight, but we'll figure it out. We always do. Tonight, we're diving into part two of the Dylan Tallman saga. You know, the guy who lived next door to Chris Watts during the start of his prison stint. He's also the guy that Chris Watts loaned some undies and other stuff to. It's only been a week, and already there's a new book out and three more interviews out there that we're going to go over. We're clearly lagging behind here. Rumor has it that CW is changing his story about the night of the unalivings again. Can you believe it? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Is anyone else shocked? Shocked? Actually, I would say that I'll be shocked if anyone believes them, but no, that's not even going to shock me anymore. Does anything shock you in this case? I don't think it does me. So, what do you say? Ready to jump on the prison party boat and join the fun? Come on, you know you want to. I'm just giving you a little peer pressure. Okay, everyone aboard. Let's get this show on the road. I'm going to roll some credits. Actually, I should say on the water because we're going over to Watts Island. But anyway, I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for everyone to roll in. Special shout out to my replay crew. It's Friday night, babies. Guys, welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy.
Angel flew down to a tiny house on the edge of hell. Ain't no garage or a swimming pool, just a sad old friend who thinks he's cool. Angel knocks twice. She says, "Let me in." And then his withered old face says, "Where have you been? Where have you been?" She says, "Hello. Aren't you tired of this? Tired of being here in the dark like this? Like this?" And he says, "No, I don't miss the light. I don't need a thing. Can you say tonight? Can you stay tonight?" And she says, "No, I can't stay the night. Just an hour or two to chase this blue. This blue."
What do you say? Can you guys stay an hour or two to chase this Watts blues away with me on this Friday night? I love Fridays. They're my most favorite day of the week. I am having an off night though. I will say that. All right, so Let's start that algorithm dance party that I like to do. Just start warming up your fingers and dancing them up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really, really appreciated. I see Heavenly and Jamie, and I see you know who, and Miranda and Candy, my little my little dragonfly. I almost called you a butterfly. You're a dragonfly. You're a dragonfly, Missy. Remember that. Just kidding. You're a butterfly too if you want to be. All right, so before we get started, I just wanted to clear up a few things before we go into this. Heavenly gifted one membership. Thank you, Heavenly. I don't know who got it, but congratulations to whoever got the membership. That is the Dragonfly membership. The Dragonfly is the Parawomenradio membership over on YouTube. And by the way, we're here tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Hi, everyone. It looks like Miranda Cortez got it. Congratulations, Miranda. Welcome to the Dragonflies. It's just a little club that we have over on YouTube. It's $2.99, and we release all the videos early to the Dragonflies. We have a monthly live that we do. We have some drawings that we do. There's shout outs, the Dragonfly of the month, and just, all this good stuff that we have going on. And we'd love to have you. And congratulations, Miranda. Welcome to the Dragonfly Club. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to clear up a few things. I misspoke on last week's live. I got some people mixed up, and Jamie, who you can see she's in chat tonight, but this is Jamie, and I got it mixed up. Jamie is not Chris Watts's girlfriend. She is, in fact, Dylan Tallman's girlfriend. And yeah, so we don't want to get that mixed up. And we always want to write our mix-ups because, I mean, who wants to be hooked up with Chris Watts? I kind of was feeling bad for Jamie because I was like, why Chris Watts? But Dylan, we don't know Dylan. So Dylan didn't murder anyone. So yes, aces. And then the second thing that I want to clear up is this. This comment came across me, oops, is that the one? No, this one. This comment came across, and I just want to talk about it. This woman said, as I mentioned, I'm a huge YouTube fan and watch many channels. I watch them on TV, I watch them on TV, come to my phone to like and comment. After your homophobic comment, I won't be visiting your page. You have great content, but was no reason to add or insinuate that these two guys were having sexual acts together. What his soulmate fiance was trying to say was there's no way they can have physical contact, and you just don't get it. Shame on you. And then I asked her, I said, what are you considering a homophobic comment? I don't believe that CW just shared these things. I believe they were, and so what? Thanks for stopping by. And if I didn't believe it, that's fine if I didn't believe it. And how am I being the homophobic one when in prison they didn't tell me how I was being homophobic? So I can just, yeah, Jamie, I'm getting to this. I I can only comment on what I see and read. And in prison, it's all men, right? So if there's something that I laugh about, it's because it's sex. It's not because it's sex between two men, because it's not wrong to have sex with two men, right? So why is it wrong if it were two women having sex in a prison? I would laugh too, because I wouldn't laugh if it was a man and a woman, because that would be wrong, because then someone's being abused, right? Although you're not supposed to. But here's the thing. Dylan has said that it was not. He has come on and said now verbally on Alex's show, and Jamie, his girlfriend, is saying that it's not true. So I will no longer say these things, because Dylan obviously is offended by it. He wants it to be known that it's not true. But I'm just saying, I'm not the homophobic one to believe that in an all man's prison, when these things happen, these things show up in somebody else's cell, I don't believe I'm being the homophobic one. And I take great offense to being called homophobic, racist, sexist, any of that. I take great offense to it. And when I say I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm right, but Dylan says I'm wrong. And so who am I to say otherwise, right? It would be like me saying I'm straight and Dylan insisting I'm gay, right? So it's just stupid and ridiculous. And Dylan says it's wrong. So I'm going to go with it's wrong. He is 100% straight, and that's what he says. And that's all I can go by, right? So I apologize to Dylan and to Marie, or not Marie, Jamie. I'm sorry. Jamie, I have it in my mind that your name is Marie. I don't know why. I don't know why. I know that I even had to go back and check to see, was her name Jamie last or Marie last week? Because I don't know where I'm getting Marie from. For God's sake, help me with all these names. I'm really bad with it. But I will say this. When I think I'm wrong, I can 100% say it. So, with that said, let's move along. So, last week we did a part one. Dylan Tallman, let me show you who I'm talking about. This person, this man, this is Dylan right here. These are both Dylan. These are both photos of Dylan. And I thought this was an interesting page that I found on Dylan. It's like Dylan Tallman, latest Dylan Tallman news and updates. He's got 3 things on here. It has read Chris Watts's handwritten note to judge after guards tie prison pal to bed for 6 days. That must have been in the beginning, because I do remember hearing part of the book where Dylan was tied to a bed or tied to something, which sounded horrible. And then there's the Chris Watts prison pal, relocated after Schmurder's boxers lube found in his cell, and Big House Buds. Chris Watts's prison pal describes K-Dad as godly and swears he's innocent. So that's who we're talking about. This is the books that we're going to be discussing tonight. I've not bought them and read them yet. Um, part three of the book will be out soon. Oh, okay. Is just out of curiosity, I know well no, I don't need to know that. Anyway, so this is the part 2. We covered part 1 last week. We watched some of Alex reading part 1. We didn't watch it all because I never watch anything in its entirety, and or I speed things up or I talk over it. This is for fair play use and I must do this. I also do it because I want you to go over to the creators page. It wouldn't have been fair for me to watch everything of Alex's. So we watched part 1. We're going to go in. We're going to watch part 2. I think there's a 3 and a 4 too that we're missing. I don't think we're going to get to 3 and 4, but maybe we'll do 2 and 3 tonight. But this is the book, the part 2 of the book. I will for sure link part 1 of our live if you want to see it. For sure, there will be a link to Alex's, and everything that we view, I will put down in the description. And this is all my research and for entertainment and educational purposes only. So this is part 2, The Cell Next Door. The story continues as the author serves his time with Chris a year after he is convicted of murdering his family. The author befriends the perfect suburban father and discovers there is a lot more to his case. Chris and the writer become like brothers who are worlds apart, however, spiritually parallel to one another. The author has knowledge in criminal and civil law and tries to help Chris appeal. He learns about the famous case and his unknown accomplice. And you can get this on Kindle or paperback. Is there going to be a bundle when he's done with all of these books? Would there be like a bundle? Do they do that where they just bundle them up together so you can just get them all together, or do you just have to buy them all individually? Not that it really matters, but a bundle is something that. What are you guys saying? Let me pop over into chat. Crystal Burns says, "Oh, thank you, Crystal Burns." She says, "Everyone be sure to hit that thumbs up button." Oh, yes, a box set. Perfect. Okay. I'm curious to see what part 3 says. Yeah. Well, I didn't even want to do part 2 because I wanted to wait until tonight to find out what. Both are good books. Dylan has 4 books before this. But just one with Chris, right? I do have his book page up. Or I did. No, I think I only have this one up. But yeah, I'll put the link to, oh yeah, right here. We can see The Cell Next Door. This is part 1, which I think it's really sad that people gave it a 2 just because it was short. I don't think that's enough to maybe grade it down 1 star for that, but I don't know. And then this part 2's got 5 stars. So let's go into it. See, I had a lot more up about the boxers and stuff, but I've decided I've said all I needed to say. Okay. I had it geared up to when he came on too, but
on August the 13th of 2018, I believe that the way Dylan that explained it to me, and we'll hear it, was that he had said that he didn't believe the evidence, or the theory rather, that's out there and widely known that he did this alone was exactly what happened. But that's kind of what I took from it. Like I said, I'll ask him with you guys. But the men grew close after being placed in neighboring cells at Dodge, where Tallman has been an inmate on and off for the past 4 years. The men grew so close that they self-published.
Well, I think it's amazing that Dylan is actually doing all these books, because I imagine it's pretty hard for, well, I know it's from the people who have been paroled, it's very hard to find employment. So this would be something, if you wanted to support someone, you guys, it would be a good way to support someone. And I for sure will be buying the books. I just have to wait until I get my paycheck through paid from YouTube, and then I will.
A book of prayers entitled Revelation, and there's no way in burning flames that for like confuse, so nobody.
Sorry, I'm trying to find. There it is.
Being taken down that.
Well, thank you for agreeing to come on and answer some questions. I appreciate that so much. And the way that I'm going to do it is, I have questions for both of you. I'm going to try to gear them individually towards you guys.
I guess it sounds like tonight, Jamie and Dylan, or that night, Jamie and Dylan were on Alex's live. So it looks like we're going to have Jamie and Dylan. And we didn't even hear from them on the first one. It was just Alex reading chapter or part one of the, or book one.
That way for like confuse, so nobody gets confused. But also feel free to speak up at any time as well. Is that okay? Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So
yeah, I want to. Mark, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You were saying about the books and the title. No, the title. It was a God's Night series, and there's 7 books. There's a 40-day devotional, poetic knowledge, epistles, history through the ages, proverbial knowledge, and because of the complications like that I was talking about with the 40-day devotional being taken down, that was because the third-party representative that was representing him said that was his intellectual property, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He just told us that he was sending me permission to do this. Now that I publish it, put my time and money into it, then this happens. And then I asked his parents. He said he was sending me a letter. That wasn't him. But he didn't want to send permission. There were all these excuses about some girl being mad about it. That she didn't want other people writing him. Also, that like other girls, like that's too late for that. He gets plenty fan mail. But also that something about Colorado, the lawsuit thing. I think that wrongful death lawsuit didn't kick in yet. Like they weren't taking his money for it, and also
it was asked in chat what Dylan had went to prison for, and Jamie's answer was nonviolent crime, or was it nonviolent crimes? What is Dylan in for? Sizzle asked, and then Jamie's answer was, nonviolent crimes, no victims. We're all about prison reform here, and that includes people that are coming out and facing the world again. And and I am working on that. I want to do a prison panel where we talk about like what is allowed in prison, what isn't allowed in prison. We're going to cover sex, food, lending things, because in doing the research, I did find research that like over here in the petroleum the story about the petroleum jelly. Someone says here, basic items are currency in prison. People often assume it's sexually motivated or for protection, but inmates give or swap items for all sorts of reasons. So I am working on that whole. We're going to be doing quite a few lives and discussions on prison reform because it's a topic that's becoming near and dear to me. I am obtaining friends that are coming out of prison, and I just want to be more knowledgeable about it, and I want my community to be more knowledgeable about it, and I just think it'll be a good thing for all of us. Okay, let me go back to Alex's page. Where is it? Oh, I have so much up here tonight, you guys.
Afraid to go back to Colorado to go to like face that if he had to deal with that, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm like, so all this time, these past 4 years, I've been, you can tell me, publish the book. I finally go and do it, and then this had to happen. So I went and wrote my story because this is my story as much as it's you know. By the way, if any of you read the book, you'll know that.
Right. Well, so Dylan actually sent me the email. So they published, and Jamie helped him get it done, and they got this book up and going, and they got an email to from a third-party representative and from Amazon that the book had to be taken down. They actually did send me those emails, so I've seen those, and that's what he's talking about with the book being taken down. What Chris had told him that. Which I hope you guys can hear him clearly, but in case you couldn't, that he had told him over and over, publish the book, and then he did, and then that happened. Which, let me ask you, Dylan, so this is not, your books with him were not your first books ever, right?
No, I showed him, I had him order my book when I was at Dodge with him to show him, like, hey, I've done this before, let's do this, do something productive with your time. There's nothing else you can do but turn it into good, and all we did was study the Bible all day. It's like, we can write something, and we did. We wrote a series, and
happy belated birthday, Cat's Life. We have actually our Chris C, one of our other wrenches. She's out at the Cheesecake Factory with her sister. She saved, and she is surprising her sister and took her out to a birthday dinner. So you are a Cancer, right? We're still in Cancer season.
No, I had to redact him from that series. That's why the 40-day devotional is now the 20-day devotional. And I had to redact his parts. And I was doing it on my own. But on my third book through this, I decided that I'm going to write that series because it's been weighing on me. And I haven't said nothing for like 4 years. And as far as him, I heard him saying to everybody about asking if did I believe he was innocent? And you're on the same page with that, the way you interpreted it, because he even believes he's not innocent. It's just the way that it went down. He wasn't alone, and how people don't know this. Like, it's weird how she just disappeared after that too, and she's not surfacing anywhere.
I know. I wanted to ask you about that.
It is so weird. Where's NK? Where'd NK go?
Should I show the email from Amazon that says we've received a notice from a third party claiming the distribution of the following title? I do have that pulled up.
Yeah, and the messages between my mom and his dad, where he's like, he sent in permission. So this just shows like my opinion of him never changed. He changed up.
Right.
So that's why you don't hear me telling them in the book, because I speak nothing but the facts. Like, I don't do lies because I can't.
Is Dylan going to be going back to Dodge when he goes back? Because I'm just wondering if Chris thought like the reason he'd just not be friends with him anymore because he didn't think he'd see Dylan anymore.
Keep track of lies, and that just makes stuff complicated.
Right.
More work.
Yeah.
Enough on my plate.
Okay. Well, I can direct this one to Jamie because I think she has more access to stuff. Where can people find this book and the other books? Like, they're available more than just Amazon, right? Or
yes, we also went through a company called Draft Digital, which they then distributed to Barnes & Noble. Apple Books, Google Books. If you
Okay.
Google the name of the book, it will give you all the outlets where you can find it.
Okay. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so my next question is regarding what you said about him being innocent. And what I wrote was, one thing I had misunderstood from the book and other interviews, and other times that you had spoken out, is I thought you believed Chris was innocent. And when we spoke the other day, that was one of the first things you said was, I don't believe he's innocent. He doesn't even think he's innocent. So can you expand on that at all? Like what you think?
My words were always taken out of context, like in that article. I said in that one interview in 2021 that
I don't know if I saw it was on audio. It just says Kindle. Is Kindle audio? I don't know. I don't do Kindle, so I don't know. But Jamie's in here. She'll probably be able to tell us.
Look, because he's very super spiritual, very positive. I said if you look up godly in the dictionary, it'll say Chris Watts, and the guy would have a picture of Chris Watts or whatever. And, I said that I don't believe he.
I'm sure if you looked up a picture of disgusting and gross and vile and a bunch of other things, Chris Watts' picture would be there too.
So if that's me saying he's innocent,
turd, D-wad, jerk. These are the nice things I'm trying to think of.
Okay, I didn't say he didn't do anything at all, but that's not. Never said that. So I never said the words he is innocent.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up, because I think that's the way I took it as well. Okay, so the next one I have is not the first time you've been asked, but I am curious, and I want to get
this sizzle. I think part 1, the first book, was read by. We did listen to half of it over here, so I think Alex read a good portion of the first one. If you like Alex's voice, or if you like Alex's voice, you can listen to her read it for a little while. I like her voice.
Amy's thoughts on this too, but Dylan, what is your opinion of Chris now, and how has that evolved or changed throughout this process of the book and it getting pulled and all of that stuff?
Has my opinion evolved after all that? No, my opinion of him hasn't evolved. Just his loyalties are shifting. So I'm not the one who switched up. He changed, but not my opinion of him.
I wish I was asking the questions.
Okay. Well, I mean, he wasn't loyal to Shanann either. That's kind of what we had talked about the other day as well. So I feel like
I'm sure
maybe that's
ask all the questions.
I don't know who he is. I'm not really sure. Sometimes I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not even going to put my opinions or theories on it.
Oh, I will. I thought that so far on a spiritual path that he would not have done nothing like this. I looked up to him spiritually. He had the spirit. I couldn't. He had life. He was never getting old, but he was so positive. Just the way he was toward me.
See, I'm feeling that anger towards Chris Watts again that I feel when he does this bullshit to his mom and dad. He loves to con people, and I'm getting that anger that I get about Chris Watts, and it's in my hands. Just want to punch him.
He's like, wow, okay, so here I am, 6 books under my belt now. 2 of these are about just that story. I have 4 other ones, but I did this before I met him, and I'm gonna keep going. People who are the haters are trying to say oh, you're trying to get rich off him or get fame off him. I was already known for writing books. My dumbass just kept going to prison. If I was out, I'd be at the top probably right now. If I was on my grind out there, I have no resources.
Right now?
Put books out every couple weeks.
Where is Dylan right now, Jamie? He keeps saying if I'm out. I thought he was out. Where is he? Is he back in jail or something? I just wish that we had more programs in prison to help people when they come out. I really do. I really want to be, I want to help. I want to help in some way.
Right. Well, okay. Just
inspiration to people around me. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. So you say that you looked up to him spiritually, and you had said on the phone the other day, you know, he knew all kinds of stuff out of the Bible off the top of his head. Like, it's crazy how much he remembered and was able to spit back at you.
He said before that even there's a video where Shanann's like, you know, Chris reads something once and he remembers it. He's just one of those lucky people that has that photographic, is it photogenic or no, it's not photogenic, photographic memory. I do not have one of those. It takes me a long time to remember shit.
Use my scribe. I'd be like, look up, where's this psalm at in there? Psalms 49:6. And then I'd get the text and I'm like, hold on, look, where's this? And he'd tell me. I'd be like, where's this? He'd tell me. And that's when I called him Dustin Hoffman from Rain Man, like 236 toothpicks. Remember that part? So
yeah,
I tease him about that.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Chris Watts has to spend his time with somebody, right? So he's probably going to try to find the nicest guy. And, you know, he's taken up this whole Christianity thing. And I'm sorry, I don't believe Chris Watts. Number one, I think Chris Watts is bi. And number two, I think Chris Watts is just using this Christianity thing to use this Christianity thing. So now he has used this Christianity thing against some guy who really believes that Chris, oh God, so sad.
It's crazy, which that's kind of what we heard about him too before. Like, he was very literal, but also when it was stuff he was interested in, he would like dive right in and be very educated on it.
Good point.
There wasn't anyone in there. And that's kind of why I flocked to him, because he was not like everybody else. And I had done over a decade of my time in prison with just the same type of individuals. He was a pure in heart guy. Like, I can get a good read on people. Yeah.
Just 1 second. You guys in the chat, there is no deep breathing sound. I don't know if it's the frogs. I'm outside and there's nobody out here with me. But yeah, I think it's just the frogs, and I apologize. But
it just sounds like there's some movement going on. I don't hear deep breathing.
Okay, hi, being bio girl. So Jamie, do you have a theory on the case? Do you believe there's more to it than just like the official narrative that we've been told?
That's a hard one to answer, but I'll just say yes and leave it at that.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of comments I can really go into with their time restraints right now.
Have you spoken to Chris Watts personally, Jamie?
No.
Right.
He's told, Chris has told so many different versions. And I think if you piece them all together, you might get the truth. I think in the scripture he wrote, I got a lot out of that. Yeah, I don't really know where I stand now, but I do know with the way Chris did things to Dylan with the book, that did change a lot of opinions I had of him.
Right. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like pretty confusing, especially now that they've sent me everything, which I'm putting on the screen, you guys. Like, this is more emails with the third-party representative. There are, you know, letters from Cindy, messages with Cindy and Dylan's mom, and
the messages are from Ronnie, not Cindy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, between Ronnie.
Are they going to go over these letters?
And it is. I mean, I'm confused. What the hell happened that made this book need to be pulled, you know? But
so are you going to go over this in the interview? Like what went on with Ronnie and Cindy? Because I've been covering them pretty extensively over here lately. It looks like Jamie said that Dylan is in county jail right now. No, it's okay. We don't worry about your typos. Never spell check anybody here. So have you only corresponded with Chris through letters or the scriptures that you read from Chris Watts or from Dylan's letters, Jamie? Or have you spoken to him on the phone? Have you sent him your own letters? How does that work?
Let me see.
We have our theory on that. And if Dylan wants to take it from there, I'll just say that much.
Here's that one letter. Okay, well, go ahead. And then I'll go to my next question.
What I don't know what all
we'll leave that up for on.
Okay.
We have time. Just go ahead.
Maybe
You
the
can ask
next
your question.
two interviews go over it.
So what is one thing that people would be surprised to know? Well, two things. So one thing about just prison life and Dodge specifically, and then one thing about your time with Chris and your friendship with Chris, or about Chris, that people would be surprised to know.
Other than that one day that I was chosen for, or that he's actually one of the greatest guys I ran across. Even though I hate to say it right now, because
you can really tell that Dylan's hurt. Whatever Chris did to him, I gotta look at. I gotta get these letters and look at them closer for us. I can't see them so far away and read them. If they're up on the screen, I'll try to capture them and we can read them in the next live, because they're just too small here. What is it? I can't make it bigger. Looks like it's letters from the Watts that are saying cease and desist or something. I don't know. Wish I knew. Okay, let's go on. Oops, I think I popped up too far because it was here. Okay.
What is one thing that people would be surprised to know? Well, two things. So one thing about just prison life and Dodge specifically, and then one thing about your time with Chris and your friendship with Chris, or about Chris, that people would be surprised to know.
other than that one day that I was chosen for, or that he's actually one of the greatest guys I ran across. Even though I hate to say it right now, because kind of got me mad with this book thing. And Dodge is boring as hell, and the staff are petty. You just go there for intake, and basically, if you're not staff there, which is majority of the inmates are not, then you go off and get shipped to your other prison. It's just an intake place. It's nothing fancy or anything. Inmate workers that work. I know it said in the article he was custodian. His job, he was custodian at the infirmary, and then on rec day he'll also help, push the wheelchair guys to rec and that.
Okay, so he is custodian in the infirmary, and he pushes the wheelchair men around. That's what Chris Watts is doing in prison.
I was just in prison with him again last year. Actually, I was just at rec with him and stuff. Got to run into him again.
Right.
And I'm on my way back because I get out. I'm in Marathon County Jail right now, and I go back to Dodge pretty soon, and I'll be there till wherever they ship me. But my release date's October or November. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm really curious what's going to happen when you do see him again.
I can't wait.
As am I.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in knowing. Is he still? He hasn't. Oh, he's probably. You just said he was in jail. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Going back there. I want him to see Chris.
next I want to talk about old Jezebel, because a lot of people are hung up on her. And, there's a part in the book where you talk about he gets a letter from someone that he believes could be her, and it totally shakes him up. And I'm curious, if there was anything else with that, and did that happen?
Yeah, I think he's out of sorts because he's really mad at Chris Watts. I would like to see I'm going to, for next week, I will screenshot all of these letters and we'll try to read them. But apparently it seems, what I'm gathering, that the Watts, there was a book that Dylan was working, there was these books that Dylan was working on with Chris. Chris said, get it done. And then at the last minute, he's getting all of these things from the Watts saying, take it down, take it down, take it down. Is that what I'm gathering? And so Dylan's like, well, I'm going to go on and talk about this because this was my plan. This was our plan.
Times, or, yeah.
Okay, so he got all quiet. That man,
Okay,
I know
I'm
that
wrong.
means he gets hate now.
There are emails from Amazon and a third party rep. Well, how did Ronnie come in then? I heard she said Ronnie was writing the letters.
Something bad. So I'm like, what is it? And then he just told me, he's like, he got a letter from some chick and claiming that NK still loved him, sends her love or something like that. And I'm like,
wasn't that a long time
okay,
ago?
what's the chick's name? He said her name was Becky, and I'm like, has this ever happened before? He's like, no, never. Because he's like, it was a hoax, and he ripped it up and flushed it. Even I'm like, dude, that is her. You need to hang on to that letter. Like, he's like, I ripped it up and flushed it. I'm like, well, why would you do that? He's like, because I wasn't thinking.
He's an idiot. He's an
like,
idiot. When all these women were first writing to him, there was something in the jail, and he was like, well, I don't, I can't date, I can't fuck them anymore. Oops, I'm sorry. I can't F them anymore. And they were like, dude, they'll buy you things. Use them for money. He's so, ugh.
That was her. I'm telling you, it had to be, because it's never happened before. And that's just my belief. And then when I told him that, like, it's never happened, so it had to be. Otherwise, the chick, if she was lying, she would have just faked like she was her.
Right.
She was passing him. I think it was. We believe it was Nicole writing him in a different.
So does he get hate mail? Because you said like when he gets all quiet, that's like when he gets hate mail.
Yeah, because usually I'm like, I didn't get mail. Let me live my life through you again, bro. What do you got? And then he gets to reading stuff, and he get mail like mostly women that are like sending him letters like, hey, I look like this. Big kitties.
There's a lot of that in the second book.
It is funny. I mean, yeah. So, but no, the hate mail. I remember a chick from Chicago, Illinois, told him that you need to say what happened, and what really happened.
Does she ask how you met Dylan? Is that going to come up in this conversation?
He deserved to die and all types of stuff like that. When he gets hate mails, not very good.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's just sick to me that he can get like that. There's so many fans of him. Well, let me ask you, actually, that was one of my questions I had written down. I'll just skip to it because it's kind of about that. Does he receive like money or commissary items or anything from like random women?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, but usually they'll write and say, hey, do you want me to put some money on your account, or do you need anything? Let me know. I'll do it. Stuff like that. But they do. But
do we find out?
Not as much as you think. It was mostly.
Do we find out who his girlfriend is right now? Hey, Cowboy RC, I am wanting you to come on and do a panel with me about prison and what goes on in prisons. I will be emailing you soon. It's good to see you.
See, his parents and Anna at the time.
Okay.
Money on there. I put money on there so he could order me too.
So apparently,
I was at a different status than him. I couldn't get certain things.
Ronnie was communicating with Dylan's mom. That's where the Ronnie letter came in. We're going to get these letters and we're going to read them. And we're also going to go over the incident report next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my next one would be about Anna. And then my next question I'm going to ask you, Jamie. But yeah, this one, you mentioned Anna in the book. Who was Anna for people who don't know, and what happened with her?
That was his girlfriend. She's from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Is that the girlfriend now?
Shortly after he got there and ended up hooking up, and when I ran into him January of 2020, he was already going strong with her. But then she was still married. In the Bible, it says,
ooh, she was still married. Chris Watts, who has found God, is dating a married woman. Maybe he didn't know.
That's not proper. Basically, it's a sin.
Oh, it's not
and
proper.
She was supposed to like get divorced or whatever, and some enmity came up between her and his parents.
Oh,
Stuff to do with they're both trying to get power of attorneys. I don't know. There's
what?
a lot of confusing stuff, but
Right.
he
Wait,
stopped talking to her.
what? Okay. She was trying to get power of attorney over Chris?
Completely. She reached out to me like, "Why is he talking?" And I asked him. He's like, "Tell her Micah 7:5 in the Bible."
That makes me laugh. I'm sorry. She wasn't getting power of attorney over Chris. He needs power of attorney over her. So I wish Shanann had gotten power of attorney over him.
And that says,
Put him somewhere.
basically, do not trust the one who resides in your bosom or whatever. Or I don't have the Bible in front of me, but
You shouldn't
that's what
do
means.
it because it's
try to get your
wrong.
mouth to the one.
It's
Basically, to your
not
girl.
nice.
That's what he got out of it. Then she's like, "Tell him."
You shouldn't do it because it's not nice to do with your human, the person that you've chosen for life. It's not nice because it hurts the other person. Not just because it's in the Bible. It's just not a nice thing to do. Period. I mean, but Chris has no problem in doing it. Look what he did with MK.
I had to tell her this formally.
But it's disgusting that he's going around saying that he's this born again Christian and he's doing that.
She's like, "Tell him Micah 7:6, and that's do not trust those of your own
Oh,
household."
no one knows for sure.
So that was that argument. It was a scripture argument, and there'd be a lot of those. Those are funny.
Yeah, that is funny. They'd like speak through scripture to each other, which I felt like, go ahead.
I hung out with her once when I got out. She's actually a really good person.
Oh,
He doesn't
okay.
speak ill of her.
Interesting. Okay.
Did he?
Okay, so
say-
Jamie, I know that
he doesn't speak ill of her, or he does speak ill of her, or did he say I can't speak ill of her? I gotta pop it back.
oh,
He doesn't
okay.
speak ill of her.
Oh, he
Interesting.
doesn't speak ill of her.
Okay. Okay,
Is she
so
married yet?
Jamie, I know
Is he
that
still married. This reminds me of the woman that's with Paul Ferguson. Isn't she married too?
you have been a huge part of helping get this book out there and that kind of stuff. And is there anything you would want to say to people who, well, I know you've got some pretty nasty comments and some pretty gross stuff said to you. And is there anything that you would like to say about that experience or to those people or anything regarding
Is this
that?
the hater part? Because Jamie, is this the hater part? Because I don't want to watch it all and I want to pop forward to the next one, but I do want to watch the hater part that you said's worth watching.
I don't want to put a lot of time on giving them the attention they're looking for, but
Anna has
I
been
do want to
gone.
say this, and I'm going to be flat out honest here. I have been told by people that, they hope my kids wind up in oil tanks because I'm, helping Dylan and the relationship he and I have. That,
Why?
They're wishing many bad things upon me. I'm not going to go into all of them because it's been
I think
absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
because a lot of people misunderstand and they think that you are actually Chris's girlfriend, because I've talked to some other people along the ways and I'm not the only one who thought that. So is that why they're saying that to you?
Ridiculous.
Well,
It's
you're young.
ridiculous if you're just dating Dylan.
You won't take the
Yeah. Let's leave my kids out of it for the rest of it. But
Forever.
I guess my
for the
point
rest of
is,
this.
I don't really
days.
care what they think. It's not gonna deter Dylan and I from books or plans or whatever we're gonna do.
Right.
So when they think it's getting to me, some nights it's entertaining because I literally will laugh out loud and I'll read some of them to Dylan. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, that's what they're saying. And they had also mentioned, if Dylan was any type of guy, he wouldn't put you in this position. And I'm like, I have thick skin. I'm a grown woman. I can handle myself here. And I just think what they need to know is they're arguing with themselves at this point. Because we have our plans with the books and other plans, and whatever we do in life doesn't affect them at all. And so many other authors have written books about the case, and nobody hates them. Chris has fans after what he did. Dylan writes books, and everyone hates him. I can't make that whole thing make sense. And that's all I'll say on that.
Like the smartest.
Well,
thing.
yeah, that
People are
it just disgusts
angry
me.
because one, he's probably making money. Well, I think that's they're big mad. People get big mad when somebody succeeds and they're not succeeding. and they think that they should be, getting that same thing. And it's like a really smart thing to do. If I were in prison with Chris Watts and hung out next door, I'd be writing a book.
That people can be so hateful towards you when you, like you said, Chris has fans and things like that, and you get comments like that. That's why I do appreciate you even being willing to answer questions, because I wouldn't blame you if you were like, fuck this, like I'm not gonna.
Well, no, because what I have realized is, and going back over some of these messages and comments and everything, I have been nothing but respectful. Even to the worst comments, I'm like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
You have been very respectful. Hi, Giselle. Yes, every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be here. Come see us.
And I've been nothing but respectful to everyone. But it's like when they come at me.
We have a group chat, myself and my 2 mods. And I even said to them, she seems like she's a really good person.
They're coming at Dylan too. So I'm going to just.
Yeah.
It's not going to, no. That's all I can say is no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to leave you alone. Target that hate toward me, because I love the hate. I mean,
I think
I was born for adversity. I mean, my whole life I've been shit on my whole life. I've been locked up almost 15 years over that. And this is what I know. I've self-educated myself throughout the years, because I was like, I don't want to be like one of these idiots. I'm going to get out. I'm going to apply myself. And then I started to get real smart. And I applied myself. I started writing. I'm like, I can write books. I can do this. I kept at it over 10 years.
Good for you,
finally, this year, it just started taking off. As soon as I met Jamie, our intelligence was compatible with one another. It elevated.
Did he say who's Candy? Or did he say Jamie?
Me
Keep up with all the
and
people.
my vision.
Right.
And together we're growing.
Awesome.
We're doing this, and nobody can take that. Can take what I do and what I've done from me.
Right.
Nobody.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
As far as us working together, I had mentioned this to you earlier, Allie. We've both worked through this with these books, sick, stressed, tired. We've had to push each other on our bad days. He's like, I don't feel like writing. I'm like, get it done. Or, he'll call me and I'm like, I don't feel like.
I can't wait to read them, because I hope more is said about NK, because the more I hear, the more I cover her, the more I'm like, I used to be like 90% sure she was innocent, and I've kind of moved to 80% sure she's innocent. There's that 20%. It's like growing. There's more and more proof that's growing in my mind. Like, how did she not get involved? But I don't know.
Type in this thing, he's like, get it done. And we have a way of working off of each other in many situations, be it a day with anxiety or a day of being sick or a day of working on the books, that we have been able to click and vibe in a way to get stuff done. And that seems to be what pisses people off.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
And the more they get pissed off, the more motivated we are to do our plans.
Right. Well, I don't know. I want to hear the story. I'm glad you're speaking. I'm glad you guys are telling it. And I think that at this point, it is everybody's story and experience, Dylan's and even yours now, Jamie, to a degree. So I'm glad that you guys are talking about it.
Yeah, I did not expect to ever be where I am now in this story. I'll just say that. It wasn't. I have been accused online of I write to multiple inmates until I'm able to snag one.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, that's not how Dylan and I met.
Right.
Dylan and I met by a freak accident.
Oh, we get to hear.
Hey, Jonesin.
Yeah, that's just that.
What's the
okay?
freak
Well, I love that answer. I think that just like I said again, I'm glad you're telling your story. So, okay, the
freak accident.
Next question I have is there was some news out at one time about pictures that Chris had in his cell and about him kind of communicating with these pictures. I mean, the internet was furious. The Facebook groups wanted him to take them down. What can you guys tell me about that?
Well, I was there. I can tell you that he had his photos in a photo album. I didn't see any hanging on his walls. But he had pictures of his family.
Does she ask which pictures?
He didn't. No, there's nothing weird he was doing. I don't know where.
Did any of the other prisoners? Oh gosh, I'm not doing the interview. I want to know. Did any of the other prisoners care?
Where'd you see that?
I saw
I didn't
like,
even know.
yeah, I remember seeing like, I don't
We've
know, if,
all
you know, it
talked
could have
about
been Inside Edition or Daily Mail or whatever, but I
I
remember.
have the answer.
Okay, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, okay.
It was an Inside Edition piece that picked it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then pretty much all of the social media groups ran with it. There was even a TikTok recently about it that someone said that every night he read a bedtime story to the girls' pictures.
Well, he said that he did that, and then he said every night little Cece comes and dances in his cell. These are all things that Chris has said. You know.
Yep.
No,
And I'm
absolutely
like,
not.
yeah, no.
Wow.
How creepy would that have been, though, if he really sat and read a bedtime story to the pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
but did he have?
Interesting. You so
Did
quickly
he really have Shanann on the wall?
were like, no, absolutely not.
I heard him telling stories because I'm right there. I would have heard him and saw him doing it. No, he didn't. He didn't. If he did, I'd be like, I'd have to pull him aside, like, hey, bro, don't be doing that. But no,
Right.
weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's nothing to laugh at.
Giselle, it's okay. You got 1 foot in the replay crew and 1 foot on the live. It's all good here. You're never late.
He stopped there like that, and I was going to get into some other stuff. I'll just hear your questions.
Well, you can get into whatever you want. I do have more questions, but go ahead and don't let, like, if you have something to say, feel free to say it. And yeah,
We're trying our best not to talk over each other because Dylan and I have very bad habits with that.
She does. I don't.
No, we're not doing this now.
Okay, so
I would like to point out real quick, though, if you do hear an exchange between Dylan and I that sounds like less than nice, we're just totally kidding with each other. That's just our normal conversation when we get too comfortable.
right.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can always
So,
tell when people have been over criticized because they're always very like overly like, this is what's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It was kind of like when Amber and her daughter came in from Into the Weeds. You could tell that they've been beaten up and battered because the interview, you can just tell.
Dylan, did you ever see any like real sadness, remorse, regret, heartbreak?
Ah,
Did you
good
ever
question.
feel like you saw that from Chris?
I know when something's bothering him, it'd be like recent things bothering him, but he kept the channel pretty cool all the time. It took me months just to be able to start to learn how to read him. You have to read him to know that something's going on.
Does she ask about
I was able to pick up
about
on things.
Dylan being tied up and Chris writing the letter?
And it wasn't easy to do that. It's like,
Hi, Valerie.
I envied that, how he could stay cool, he control, like he'd always read the Proverbs, Ecclesiastes 7:9. Do not be quickly provoking spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Say that to me all the time, and I'd be like, I know.
Oh, it's just the way I know that. I know the way you say that.
That's crazy though, and it makes me wonder like what psychologically is going on with him for him to be able to always remain so kind of cool, calm, collected. And then yeah, it's just kind of wild. But okay, so go ahead.
There's always a woman that can get to him and
Right.
get him out of his element, get him to feel some type of way. It always be a woman. That's his kryptonite. It's his weakness.
It's always a woman. Always a woman. The woman throws him off balance. What?
And
What does that mean?
a lot of it with the case, that's what that boils down to. I talk about it. I break everything down really in part 2. So I don't want to ruin it because you'll know how the mistress was involved, and that she was, what happened, and how he didn't leave with her body because it was left there. We went to work. Like there's a lot of other facts that I don't want to get into.
This was before part 2 came out, wasn't it? This interview.
Because like this is my story, and you're gonna have to read it. You're gonna have to buy it. But I'll answer any other questions that don't spoil. I don't want to spoil any. It's like telling me, hey, this movie is on. And I'm telling you the end. You don't want that. Everyone's gonna get pissed. So,
Right. Well, I bought it, so I'm gonna be looking forward to reading the next part. But okay, so another thing that you kind of touch on in the book, and we've heard otherwise as well, is, you know, in Colorado that he probably wouldn't have survived having been kept in prison there. Did you guys ever talk about that? And then did the guards and inmates in Wisconsin at Dodge know
I
his?
see that the books are up here. People are asking, and I do see the books are over here on Amazon. And I will also be putting the link to them. But here, I will just pop the link and, well, it's a very long link though. Is there a link that can you grab? Is there somewhere on here where you can grab a link to share? Oh, wait, right here. Here, let me get that over into chat for you guys. And for those that are listening on the replay crew, go down and look in the comments, or I'm sorry, the description, and it will be right there. That is the link to Dylan's book. Let me do it a little bit better for you guys. So it would be really great to support Dylan and do this. He seems like a really good guy. Let me find Alex again. Okay, here we go. I've said that over and over again, that he's with the disabled people. And that's why Chris never wants to leave, because he feels completely safe there. I thought it was interesting in doing the research. I saw this guy. We're going to end that interview there. I will put the link and you can go and watch it. There's some in the beginning and there's some in the end. I thought it was interesting. This guy, he gets asked, so why is Chris Watts so safe in prison? People are very unhappy that he's still alive, I guess. I don't know.
I love this question. I get asked all the time about specific inmates. Why is Chris Watts safe? Why is this person safe? The reality is, like I always say, time doesn't exist in prison, only opportunity. As long as Chris Watts' name is alive, he'll be alive. When his name dies, he dies. And that's the thing. What you see on the media isn't how it works in prison. And anybody that's ever been on the inside will tell you the same exact thing. While his name is so popular in the media, everything he does is broadcasted, every phone call, every letter, every relationship about his night terrors and how he's the victim, this little fucking demonic piece of shit. The warden knows he's got to keep the killers and the sharks at bay. He's got to take the corrupt officers that will take the hit, put them on the other side of the prison. He's got to get all the troubled convicts that will also take the hit and put them away in some type of disciplinary confinement. So a lot of times When the convicts can't get to you, they get to your family. They extort your family, you know, and by doing that, what they're going to have Chris Watts doing is basically working in a sweatshop, making memorabilia and selling it to all these sick motherfuckers, toenail clip-ins.
Has that happened yet? Has he been forced to start making the memorabilia, Jamie? Maybe we could get Jamie and Dylan on our show. What do you guys think? Maybe we can work on it. Okay, guys, I didn't realize that we were up off the hour. We're going to end it here. I had so much more, but yeah, we're going to end it right here. We'll make sure to purchase the books so we can talk about it. Hopefully, we can get a panel together to talk about this. Let me make sure you're seeing what I'm saying. This adult conduct report that Chris Watts received, and we're going to do more. We're going to just keep going, keep doing it. And yeah, let's see what people are saying. He's not safe. I've watched a couple other channels by ex-cons, and Chris is very hated. People really want to get to him. I wish I could remember the name, some of the channels. A man's named Delaney. Yeah, I've seen a lot of channels. I've seen like this news report. Where is this? There was a news report that seems to circulate quite a bit. It's about Chris Watts not feeling safe, that the other inmates hate him, and that report seems to pop up like every 6 months or so, it seems, where it says that Chris Watts is very unhappy and everybody hates him. And here, I think this is it. He fears for his life, and it just pops up quite a bit. It feels like it's the same report, different date put on it. He's in a hell of his own making. He hardly talks to anyone, instead choosing to read his Bible. Now we know he works in the infirmary, pushing the people to their appointments. So, I mean, yeah. But at what point, I want to know, it says after I'll link this for you guys. After he's spent time, at what point do people forget about him and the warden isn't so worried about him and the corrupt cops get to get closer to him? At what point does that happen? Heavenly says, Jamie, I'd just love for Amy to have you up sometimes. Yes, it would be really wonderful to have you guys, or even just you, or just Dylan, whoever, or both of you. I wish he would just give up his loyalty to, yes, it would be nice, and spill the beans on what part she really played in the whole situation. That would be really nice. I guess he's really heavy and almost bald. Is he getting a chunky? He likes to eat, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, because I don't know how to contact you, Jamie, or I would have. I wouldn't have done it in the comments like I did. But you can contact me at Parawomenradio, and the women is plural, at gmail.com. Cowboy RC, who is an ex prison sergeant, as long as they keep him with pets and others who harm children, he will be safe. Oh. Yeah. You know what? I actually don't want him harmed. I just don't mind that he fears for his safety. I would never want him to be harmed or anybody else because that's just not who I am. It's just not who I am. Like today, it was said that I cover the Gypsy Rose case, and another influencer said that if Kate Marie was on fire, she wouldn't pee on her. And I'm like, would pee on Gypsy Rose if she was on fire. That's just my nature is not to harm and take away from this planet. My nature is to try to help. And I get called a Pollyanna a lot, but I can't help it. I can't help it. I just want people to be their best. I don't think that's wrong. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your Fridays with me. It means a lot to me, you guys. You have no idea how much it means to me. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to have you. It's free to subscribe. And if you don't like me, it's very easy to click that button and unsubscribe. Congratulations to our new dragonflies. My screen shifted up for some reason and I can't see the top of my screen. So I have my dragonflies saved up there. So welcome to the new dragonflies. I gave away 5 dragonflies last Monday. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give away some dragonfly memberships right now. I've got 5 more. Let me go in and give some away right now. If I can. Let me see. All right. Here we go. Okay. Welcome to Jamie. Yay. Jamie, Giselle. Yay. Sizzle. Paula Nichols, Valerie Curto. Yay. Welcome to all the new dragonflies. I'm so happy that you guys are here. You'll see all the videos released early to you. We do shout outs. We have a giveaway that we do with Dragonfly of the Month and special emojis, all that good stuff. Welcome, you guys. All right, I'm going to head out. Yay, Valerie. Yes, I'm so happy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go for real. If nobody's told you this today, and even if somebody has, I'm telling you this. I love you guys so much. You know, I pulled a Chris Watts and a Nicole Kessinger. Somebody once told me that you can't love people that you don't know. So I had to Google that shit. And you know what it said? It said, of course you can love people you don't know. And I love you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine.